How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Rapid Transit Garage. I was talking with some other YouTubers in a live the other night. Muscle City Madness was in there. Bad Tree Productions was in there. John Wilburn was in there. If you haven't seen one of those, you should probably check those out. But we were talking about the fitment issues I was having with the Barracuda and the big block. This is very low budget, and I know there's a bunch of parts that you can buy to put a big block in an A body, but this is very low budget. So I decided to do it the low budget way. John Wilburn had mentioned putting shims in the motor mounts. This has biscuit mounts. It's an early 67, and so I'm going to show you what I did. We use these shims at work. I wanted to try these because I wanted to see how much room I needed to gain clearance from the center link to the oil pan, because I had the center link was making contact with the oil pan, banging it up quite a bit. I wanted to see what kind of room or how much room I needed. These are 125 thousandths. You can get these in varying widths. You can actually get these through McMaster Car, a bunch of fastener companies, things like that. I ended up stacking 3 of them. Here is the passenger side mount. So I ended up with about 3/8 of an inch. And here is the driver's side mount. Those are just sitting in there because the part of the shim is making contact with the oil pump. So those are just sitting in there. But what I have is clearance now between the oil pan and the center link. And I'll show you that. You can see now, hopefully you can see it, I now have clearance between the center link and the oil pan. You can see the dimple where the center link had pushed the oil pan in. Before, if I went full right turn, it would actually push the oil pan up. But now you can see I have plenty of space there. If the oil pan wasn't dented already, I would still have a clearance issue. But at this point in time, I have clearance, and I'm just going to let it ride. Let's go topside. I also have adequate clearance on the backside of the motor. Didn't make any contact with the bulkhead. The dipstick tube for the transmission is a little tight, but I can make that work. I could pry that out a little bit. All in all, it worked out well. Another thing I gained is a little bit of clearance at the steering column with the HP exhaust manifolds. It did push up the bottom of it where it kind of curves around, so I believe it's kissing the bottom of the steering column a little bit. Hopefully you can see that. But it used to be solidly resting on the steering column, and but now it's tight, but I believe I could see a little bit of light through there, so I might be able to make that work. I also know that I have to clean up this rat's nest of wiring with the wire nuts and all that other fun stuff. So if anybody mentions that in the comments, I already know. The wiring on here is quite brittle, so that's going to be a winter project. I'm not going to leave the shims in there. That was just kind of a baseline to see how much room I actually needed to get clearance from the center link. But what I will do is I have some 3/8 steel. I'll make a solid mount or spacer to take the place of those shims. That way I don't have anything hitting the oil pump on the driver's side and things like that. But so this weekend or throughout the week, we're going to put some shim in play or with 3/8 steel and get access there. So this weekend, hopefully I could drive this doggone thing. It's been a long time coming, bouncing back and forth between projects, but the CUDA should be driving out this weekend. I got to figure out the oil leak in the front of it. I'm going to take it outside, pressure wash the bottom of it. After I get the motor bolted back in, the shim's made, and the motor bolted back in, pressure wash the bottom, buzz it around the block, and see where the oil's coming from the front, and get that taken care of. I still have to pull the pan to hammer the dents back out of it that I can, verify that they're not cracked or that they're not going to leak, and get that taken care of. I also wanted to show you another little thing that I was going to use to clearance the oil pan while it was in the car. Didn't work for that, but I found another good thing that it was used for, so I'll show you that. I had some 2-inch round steel, 3/4 inches thick. I cut off a bit that I don't typically use for my air chisel, and rounded the edges a little bit. It didn't work for the oil pan, like I said, but what I did find is it worked good for making a little bead line in flat steel. So I tried it on a floor pan that Jason pulled from his car when he was doing the satellite, and it worked awfully good for it. So this will get used. Kind of an ugly weld there in the bottom to fill it. It had a oversized hole, but did the trick. Weld didn't break from hammering, so did what it was supposed to do. Kinda. Hopefully the little Cuda will be going down the road this weekend after I get the motor shimmed up and solidly mounted, cleaned up, drive down the road, verify the oil leak, and then we'll see what I need from there. If you haven't checked out the channels that I mentioned earlier, please do. Great bunch of guys, and among others, Duddy's Adventures and Iron Horse Garage, and a bunch of really cool channels you guys should check out. Please like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. I'd appreciate it. Leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. I like chatting with everybody. Have a great evening, and we'll see you this weekend.